What's going on is Anton from antondaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. There are so many people, so many women that are in this mode where they're basically celebrating the possibility of divorce or celebrating their divorce or encouraging other women to get a divorce. And I think that is really hurt and trauma, honestly. I don't believe that most of these women would not want to go back to the person that they wind up getting a divorce from. But I think that a lot of women are encouraged by a lot of other people to break up their household, which obviously that's going to affect what happens to the children and what happens around you and all of the different situations and possibilities. And now you got to go back to work and you got to work harder. And maybe you were already working, but you got to make sure that you at work every single day and you can't miss, and you got student loans. And you got all of these things that's going on in your life. And I don't believe that women are happy with being by themselves. You can't convince me. I don't care how many TikTok dances you do. I don't care how many memes you create for yourself and you pretend like you're happy in front of the camera and you pose and all of that stuff. You can tell. You can tell that a lot of these people are hurt. They are bothered. They are absolutely destroyed within the inside. And they wish they can get their situation back. Meanwhile, the man that they was with, he didn't moved on. He ain't even thinking about it. Probably don't even know that she got a TikTok telling all of his business. And she's out here pretending for other women. And see, this is the thing. This is the thing that they don't teach you. And because I've been a content creator for a long time and I've been in this game for a long time, I've seen a lot of things. I've been around since its infancy. I still think that it's in its infancy. And it's a lot of people that's running around putting their business out on the internet and don't realize the repercussions that come along with that. You have to be responsible. You will at some point, whether you believe it or not, you will at some point be held accountable for the way that you influence and impact people. And so you have to be very careful with what you say and how you influence people, even when it comes to your children. That's why I think that making sure that you raise kids in a two-parent household, and obviously that does not absolve you from doing the right thing just because you're in a two-parent household or just because you're married. It don't mean that you're doing the right thing, but that's the foundation of a strong household. And there are too many people that are pushing other people because they are broke. Yo, before you pick up a microphone, make sure that you're not that broken. Make sure that you're not that hurt. Because I don't want your pain and your issues and your problems and whatever it is that you're dealing with your childhood. A lot of people got childhood trauma. A lot of people got unresolved issues with their mama. You a son husband. A lot of people got unresolved issues with the fact that your father wasn't there because your mother made a bad decision to open up her legs to a man that she wasn't supposed to be with. We are now in the first generation of women that are starting to die by themselves. And they are not happy despite whatever it is that they sitting there pretending like on social media. And you following them like an idiot. You think that your life is going to be okay. And it's not. It's not. I hate to break that to you. See, they want us to lie to you and say, no, it's going to be okay. You can find your tribe. You can find your community. Your tribe and your community is somewhere doing something that they're not supposed to do because you A, supposed to be a good mother, and B, you supposed to be a good wife. And you neglected both of those things, the very basic principles. God says, be faithful in little and then I'll make you ruler over much. What makes you think that you are blessed when you can't handle the blessings that God gave you? You can't ruin something and then think that you are supposed to get more as a result of it. That's why a lot of guys, see, they can't explain it to you the way that I'm explaining it to you. That's why a lot of guys say, how can you have higher standards and you are in a worse position? How can you want a man to do more for you when you are now a single mother? And I'm not dissing single mothers. I'm using this as an example, a realistic example of what people are dealing with on a daily basis to illustrate my point. And if we can't talk about the real issues, if we can't deal with things accordingly, if we can't actually have a real conversation, because the only thing that I care about is results. Contrary to popular belief, people think that me or other content creators, I can't speak for anybody else, that, oh my God, they hate women. How can I hate women when I've been married successfully and is blissfully married and have so many different women around me that love me, adore me, work for me, ensure that I am even more successful, bring me resources, right? I have a daughter and I wanted a daughter. I wanted a daughter because I believe that I truly understand the sentiment of a lot of people, especially women. And my daughter is in a phenomenal space, blissful and all of that stuff. How can you hate women when you have so many of them that depend on you and so many of them are happy because of your presence and your existence, and they pray for you every day and they take care of you and they pamper you and they make sure that everything that you do, and they exalt you and all of that stuff. See, this is why I decided to start back vlogging again on that other channel, on my other channel. And if you don't know what it is, then you don't need to know it anyway. But I live my life very much transparent. It is very much an open book. I don't have any secrets. You see the people that surround me, relatively, I've given y'all about 72, 73%. But in real life, life is awesome. And I would like for your life to be awesome too. Whatever that is, wherever you are, no matter what your respective city is or whatever, you know, no matter where you move to, you can go and leave your Midwestern city and go over to the bright lights over there in LA, or go to Houston or go to Atlanta. Guess what? You still taking you with you. And if you have not solved or resolved the issues within yourself and with the people that you've had issues with. I remember one time when I was younger, probably about 15 years ago, maybe a little bit longer, a little bit more, 15, 16 years ago, something like that. I made sure that anybody that I think that I had an issue with, or anybody that I thought had an issue with me, or anybody that I thought that I might not have done the best, or the relationship, and I'm not talking about relationships with just women, I'm talking about anybody, right? Any guy that I had beef with in life. And I actually recently did it probably a couple of years ago, a few years ago also, with any people that I thought that I had an issue with as far as content creators. Now, there's some people that's just straight up demonic, and you just got to go ahead and let them go and let them be, because you don't even know why they mad at you or whatever. But I reach out to people and I say, hey, you know, are we good? Or is it anything that bothers you about what it is that we had or whatever? And let me make that right. And you know what? If you need this closure or whatever, I apologize. And that's not to say I've ever done anything wrong to people, because I never, ever did nobody dirty, ever. But I want to make sure that everything is amicable. Y'all need to go and heal. You can't just move on and try to move to a new city and think that people ain't gonna be able to identify the fact that you for the streets, or that you ain't what you supposed to be, or that you're not broken and healed. All things over time come to the light, and all you're doing is finessing somebody else. You know, a lot of these women that's for the streets, a lot of these hoes, and I will designate and specify that there is a difference between a hoe and a housewife, a person that is good and a person that is bad. And so if the shoe don't fit, then don't worry about it, because just because you hold somebody accountable don't necessarily mean that you hate them. It means that you want them to do better. So a lot of y'all are just trauma dumping, and y'all don't talk about the things that you go through, and the fact that you was touched, and the fact that, you know, you was in a toxic situation and you decided to slum it out and it didn't work out the way that you thought that it was going to work out, and all of this stuff. Have the real conversation if you're going to talk about it. Talk about how you cheated. Talk about how you broke your marriage vows, and it was supposed to be for better or for worse, but as soon as it got a little bit rocky, you decided to jump ship because you're not the personification of what you was raised to be. They raised you in a church. They put these things in you early, and you ran away from it because you don't want to be accountable for who you are. But the reality is, at some point, you got to answer for who you are and who you affect. I believe that it's too many people. I'm not talking about having conversations. I'm talking about giving advice. It's too many people giving advice that don't know shit. You don't know nothing. You don't know nothing, and you need to shut up. You got 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. Too many people ain't got no results. Too many people are trauma dumping, and too many people are looking for an echo chamber so that they can sound good amongst a bunch of other people that are broken right along with them. But all y'all are a bunch of broken people, and y'all making each other's lives worse. And that's unfortunate, because you can do better, and you deserve better, and you should do better so that you can get better. But that's my thoughts. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm going to see y'all on the Millionaire Morning Show. And life is good, man. Life is absolutely awesome. And I would like for it to be awesome for you also. I love you. I appreciate you. Make sure you tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. I'm going to holler at y'all later. Peace.